Welcome to this video. So in this video I explain you a lot about how you can properly plan an event. If an event is planned wrong or bad, this is often the reason why an event fails. So let's jump right into the material. So how to plan an event strongly depends on the event and can range from almost no planning needed to a lot of weeks or even months of planning needed. So inexperienced sound people often underestimate how important well and good event planning is. And as I said already, often this is the main reason why an event fails, if it's not planned well enough. So I now guide you a little bit through what you should do before an event, or when you are asked from a band or from an organizer of an event to do the sound. What steps should you follow such that the event is prepared well? So step number 1, get in touch with all responsible people. You're the interface between many people. You will work together with band, you will work together with speakers, with event organizers. So get in touch with all of these people and find out what their needs are. What is the goal of the event? What are the requirements of the event? So for the music band, find out which instruments is there, how many vocals, and so on, so that you know what size of mixer you will need and all these things. So also probably ask the band to do a tech rider. The tech rider is basically the definition of the interface from the instruments to the tech, to the system, to the setup. I will show you in the next slide how a tech rider could look like. This has to be done by the band, not by you, but ask the band to do it. Also consider the size of the congregation. How many people will there be in the room? And also know what room it will be. This is very important, such that you can bring the proper PA. Then number of people talking on stage. Often sound guys just concentrate on a band, but often there is many people on stage talking too. So also ask the event organizer who will talk and how many people it will be. Also find out if additional audio playback is needed from any other computers or phones or whatever. So just that you know what cables to bring, and also that you know how many channels you will need on the mixing console. And also last point here, get in touch with the band leader. I mean, you did that anyway, but ask him how the monitoring of the band should be done. There is bands, they want floor wedges, there is bands, they want in-ear monitoring. Some of them want wireless, some of them don't care. So just talk about these things with the band leader or the whole band to find out what their needs are. So this is how a tech rider could look like. This has to be done by the band, not by you. So if they don't know how to do it, probably explain them what information you need. The goal of the tech rider is really to define the interface between you and the band. So I do have here a little table. It got 5 columns. Name of the person, the instrument the person plays. Then does the person use an amp, an amplifier, or a DI box, or a microphone? And if yes, what do they use? So I made here a little example. We have Paul playing the bass. He's using a bass amp without the DI box and wants to pick up his bass amp with Shure SM57 microphone. So you have to make sure you bring this microphone and the necessary cables. The bass amp, this is common sense, I would say, is part of the instrument basically, so you don't have to provide a bass amp. However, if you're not sure if the band member provides the amp, ask him if he can provide them. Normally they do. Then we have next Katie, she's a drummer. Of course she doesn't have an amp, neither she does have a DI box. So what she does need is a drum mic set for kick, snare, 3 times tom, hi and overhead. So also here, very important, ask her how is her drum set up, how many toms does she have, what type of kick, does the kick have a hole so you can do a kick in and a kick out mic. All these things ask to Katie the drummer. Then Steven, electric guitar, he uses a camper. This is a digital amp basically. Also here the camper is part of the instrument. If you're not sure, ask the player if he brings the camper himself or not. DI box is not needed here, and then microphone neither. Anna, she is a vocal, so here it's just important what type of microphone is she using for singing, so you can bring these microphones. Normally band members don't bring their own microphones, except if they're professional or very picky on what microphone it is, you can ask them to bring their own microphone because you might not have it in store. Then if this is all done, if this is all clear, if you have talked to all the people, start to plan the setup and book the material. Here where I come from, the material is often sold out already or already rent to other people, so make sure you do this early. You prepare it early, and before the event also check if you got all the material you need, not that you suddenly have to organize more material. Yeah, so contact the supplier early if you need to rent stuff. Also regarding the mixing console and the PA, always know what size of congregation you have and what room it is to define exactly what PA and what console you need. So all of the information you basically got in step 1 help you to define mixing console and PA. Also take spare cables and spare microphones with you. I often experience that suddenly at the event I had to set up more, I needed more microphones or I needed more cables than planned, so always calculate some spare cables and spare microphones in. You might need it at the event. Then number 3, do a time schedule, and here I mean a time schedule for the event itself. So the time schedule should start at the point you arrive at the venue until the event is finished. Often you will be responsible for the setup of the system and the sound check, so people will kind of relate on your time schedule, so make sure you have in mind when you want to do what. Like how long does it take to do the setup, how long does it take to do a line check, how long does it take to do the sound check, do we have to do some rehearsals with the band also talk about this with the band. Think about other things you have to do, probably graphic EQing of the room, like of the mics. This also always takes like 10-15 minutes at least. So just think about all of the things you have to do and write a rough time schedule so that you do not get into a hurry at the end. For a good event planning, very important are stage plans and patch plans. So stage plans and patch plans, they basically describe first stage plan how the stage is set up. So who is where, like which instrument is where on the stage, how are the vocals distributed over the stage, where is the drums. All of these things should be visible in a stage plan. And the patch plan also really crucial. A patch plan basically describes which instrument is plugged in to which channel on the stage box. Also make sure you print these plans so the team who helps to set up the whole system can use this patch plan and stage plans, so they don't always have to come back to ask you where they have to plug every cable. So out of my experience, it's really helpful to print these plans, hand out a plan to everyone, and then everyone can help with the setup. So here is a little example of a patch plan. It's pretty simple. Here we have the channel on the stage box. Here we have the name of the instrument and the name of the microphone. With these 3 information, the whole all the cables can basically be connected. So this example here just shows inputs. Make sure you also do it for output. So also do a second table for outputs. So monitors, left, right, subs. If you have, I mean, whatever you have, wherever you send the signals to, also do a table for these outputs. In this way, everyone can help you connecting all the cables. This is an example of a stage plan I did. recently for an event. So we have here the stage, always name where stage right, stage left, down and up stage is. Also know here that stage right and stage left is always out of the side of the band, people talking on stage, and not out of the from the side of the, like from the perspective of the congregation. So here at the back we have had an LED wall. So I took that into the overview here, and then I basically named all the instruments and where they are at stage. I had the drum here at the left and the vocals in the front, and also here I made an order, like vocal 1 I have had in the middle, vocal 2 on this, like this was basically the leader and the second like main vocal. So I just tried to put as much information as possible into the stage plans. I also named the in-ear number they will use, so they already know which in-ear belongs to which person. This will also of course be visible in the patch plan, but I think it helps to also have it here. I even named, sometimes people don't do this, but I even named the channel number on the stage box to plug in the current instrument of that, yeah, the specific instrument. So that's, yeah, I mean, I think it just helps to get a good overview on where is what on stage, and I think with this you can really do the whole setup pretty efficient. Another thing, number 5, is you always have to consider how do you get all the material to the event venue, so the whole transport. And second thing, you also have to always think about who it will be able to help you to do the setup. The audio setup might become pretty, take a lot of effort pretty fast. It might take time, so you will almost always need someone to help you. So make sure you ask the people to help you as early as possible, because else they might have other plans on that day. You can probably also ask the band to help you doing the setup. I normally don't really like to do it, because I think the band should be able to focus only on doing their music and not on working a lot with the setup of the system. And here, yeah, also the transport. Often unexperienced sound guys underestimate how much material you get also just for small events. You always immediately need 1 or 2 subs, some tops, mixer, a lot of cables. There is so fast, a lot of material, and the normal little car won't be enough anymore. So you will have to organize a car, probably someone who can drive it if it is a bigger car. So just think about these things as early as possible, and so that you don't get in trouble with transport or team members needed. So I would say these 5 points is the most important things to consider. Try to always do these things properly, such that the events will be successful, and you will not be stressed out when you have to do the event because you get into a hurry because you didn't plan things correctly.